Hi YouTube, this is Imani. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed and stuff. Not that that matters, but yeah. This is going to be about maladaptive daydreaming and my struggles with it, and sharing just a little bit of info about my story with it and my struggles, and seeing maybe that will help, with others. And I don't want to make anybody feel that they are, make anybody, feel that they're alone, and they're not. This is for these people. I'm sorry. This is for these people. Okay, so I'm gonna explain a little bit about, a little bit, have a little bit of a story time, so that so I can share a little bit about how it happened with me and stuff. And yeah, so the first time I started doing it was when I was around, like, probably 6 or 7 years old. But at that time, I did not know that, when you're like that age, when you're 6 or 7 years old, and you're gonna naturally have, like, you're playing with Barbies and with your cousin, and you're watching Disney Channel, and you want to be like the people, you're inspired by those people, you want to be like the people you see on TV, right? So I wouldn't necessarily say that it started there. I would say that it started mainly around when I was in middle school. Mainly around when I was in middle school. That's when it really, really started. Like, that's when it really, really got intense. And yeah, so yeah, so right around middle school, right around when I was 10 or 11, getting transitioning from elementary to middle school. So it was that time, and that time I was really obsessed with anime. And this is when I was getting out of the Disney Channel phase with, watching stuff like Hannah Montana and Wizards of Waverly Place, and y'all know the shows. If you guys are an early 2000 baby, a 2000 baby like me, you're born 2000, you guys know the shows. Who doesn't know the shows? It's such a nostalgic moment just by me bringing it up and talking about it. But anyways, yeah, so right around the time when I was in middle school, and I was really obsessed with anime, and I wanted to become an anime artist, and I wanted to go to Japan and do animation. And now I'm just like, I don't have a passion for that much anymore. And because I transitioned out of that phase. But anyways, yeah, so I was into anime, and because at the time I was watching it because my brother were watching it. They were reading mangas and all of that stuff, and I was really, really wanting to be in that world. Not like a weeaboo, but more like just like I would just fantasize about my anime crushes and you know, having, and I know it seems weird and freaky. Like, that's just the one thing about this condition. It's like you fantasize about, you daydream and or fantasize about like um celebrity crushes and just random things. Random things. But yeah. So yeah, I used to fantasize a lot about, or daydream a lot about, just anime boys and Naruto and Inuyasha and all of that. And it was weird because it was like I didn't think anything was wrong with me. You know, I'm pretty sure for anybody who's watching this, is probably thinking they're at that moment where it's like, oh, well, because I didn't think that there was anything wrong with me. I didn't think that. I kept it a secret. I kept it a secret from my family because I didn't want anybody to know, because it was like, you know, how we are. We don't want anybody to know, because it's like somebody finds out, they're gonna think something's wrong with us and all of that, right? So it's like, oh, you need help, you need therapy, which I do need therapy. Okay, I do. I will admit that I do need therapy and stuff. But anyways, yeah, so I would fantasize about like Naruto. I would create parascosms, characters. At first, a lot of my alters would be like like Naruto. Like they would be like they'll be like a ninja, and they'll have like powers and all of that. Not until I came up with not until I came up with an alter, who is a part of my pairs, of course, the worlds and stuff that we create. And her name is Kizune, and she's Japanese, and I've had her for a very, very long time, and she's been a part of me for a very long time. And every time I have to point trigger, so every time when it would come on, or I would see Naruto pop up on the TV, or I would go to like libraries, and they'll have like mangas, and I'll be so interested in them, and I would just be like, you know, in that world, right? But it's like that world, and you know this, especially for like people who are like, you know, like you're obsessed with the TV show, and you're obsessed with a specific character in the TV show. And since you have this, you have maladaptive daydreaming, you're creating, that world already exists, right? That world, that the TV show and the characters and stuff in that world that you're obsessed with, right? That world already exists, and you have that, and then you create a pair. You create a world within that world, around that world. If you guys can understand what I mean. But yeah, so it would be that. So I basically created a pair where it was Naruto and it was that world and that universe, and I would create my universe and my pairs within that world. And that's when I came up with my alter. And her name was Kizume. And she was a ninja, and she had powers like, you know, telekinesis, and she could do all these incredible, amazing things. And I made her all special, and she was different from everybody else. And sounds a little narcissistic, but anyways, yeah. So, but that's because I was just really obsessed, and I wanted to. I wasn't upset. I was obsessed with the show, but I was obsessed with a specific character in the show. I had an obsession. I was obsessed with the character of Sasuke Uchiha, and I had a crush on him. And it was really weird. I would daydream and fantasize so much. And at the time, it was okay because I had like a group of friends in middle school and like associates and people with me, and we had our like own little anime club and own little group. It's like a little group, and you know, we would all talk about anime and how this character is trash and this character is like this and I hate this character and oh, I love this character, and we, you know, we're gonna talk about that. And me, I would do the same thing and go to the library. I would always go to the library at school and just get a whole bunch of books, but it will always be Naruto. Some would be like Bleach or like Inuyasha, but it would always be like Naruto because I was obsessed, and I was obsessed with this specific character and in the show, and I had like a crush on him. I would like fantasize about getting married with him and us having kids. Well, not me, but my alter, the person that I created, him with my alter, and all of that. And it was fun. It was fun, and I would get so excited every time I would come home after school just so I can get on the computer and look at pictures and fantasize while I'm listening to music and daydreaming at the same time. But then that's when, mainly around that time, I would start acting out my pairs. Acting out, being my alter. I would channel her basically, being my alter, and start acting out my pairs. And so, and so I would act them out, and you know, fantasize, and I would like talk, just talk to the talk, literally play it out as if I was her in that world, and I was, I don't know, fighting against Orochimaru or something. My alter. But yeah, I would come back home. I would get literally excited just so I can get on the computer and look at pictures and fantasize and daydream and all of that. But at that time, I didn't necessarily know that it was a problem, and I didn't know that it was called maladaptive daydreaming. Because I didn't really think that it was anything wrong with me personally. I didn't think that there was anything wrong. And excuse me. And so it'll be that, and it would just be all types of just stories and things and pairs and alters that I would come up with. I think I have like 3 alters um, that I have, and yeah, it would be that I would be it was anime and Alice in Wonderland that I was obsessed with. So I was obsessed with 2 things at the same time. And so I would also create a pair in the world of Wonderland. Let's just say, in the world of Wonderland, of Alice in Wonderland, and I would pretend to be Alice and all that stuff. And but it was that, and it was around middle school, and I would come home from the bus stop and literally just get on the computer, and after I did my chores and stuff, I would get on the computer and I would start looking at pictures and daydreaming and fantasizing, listening to music, and creating a plot line, or after, or if it wasn't that, I would watch I would watch on the TV or wait for it to specifically come on so that I could watch the show, so that I can create from there. It'll be like where the plot line left off, basically. And then right around the time my bedtime, I would listen to even more music, and I would start to act out my alter and be in my pairs, right? So and creating more storylines and stuff, and then it continued on until I got to high school. And then around that time, I was still obsessing over the same character, and I would still create stories around the same alter with the same character. And it would just be like all types of stuff, and it would be fun too, because I wouldn't be bored, and then at school I didn't really necessarily get homework as much, so it's I didn't really do as much homework, which was dumb, because it was but anyways, yeah, I didn't really get as much homework and stuff, so I would just do my chores and get on the computer, laptop, and just start daydreaming. I mean, everything was literally surrounded by, every book or movie, because my triggers are movies, music, and sometimes books, but that's pretty much it. just movies and music. But everything, I was so ingrained and I was so obsessed with it that everything was literally, that every pair that I created was literally surrounded in that world specifically. And it was weird because it's almost because that world was created, right? Somebody came up already with the ideas and the imagination and made a pair of that world, right? And so you have me and other people who were obsessed with anime and obsessed with Naruto specifically, created worlds around within that world, right? Pairs. So even when every movie that I would watch, every music video that I would watch or listen to, I would all create pairs around surrounded, it will all have something to do with that world that I was, the Naruto world universe that I was obsessed with and in, because I created an altar there. And my altar, she, she was just a lot of what I wanted to be. That's what another thing about this too, maladaptive daydreaming, is we create a lot of altars that is surrounded by what we would like to be as people, as who I am right now, and I want to also let people know that you can be whatever you would like to be. Don't feel like for me, I would feel like my altar and stuff that I would create, I would feel that I would never be somebody like her. She was great, amazing, she's beautiful, she's sexy, she has, she's confident, she's smart, she's, all of these things that I in reality never really defined myself as, if you can understand where I'm coming from. And it's a bit sad because it's like you want to be these things so bad, or that it's like you can't, it's like because of your self-esteem has been pushed so low, it's like how can you really get yourself out of it, anyways. But that'll be another video, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, so she was just this amazing being. It's like, as soon as she joined Team 7, it was just like, and I made, because I used to not like Sakura, especially when she would be around Sasuke, and it was known that they were gonna meant to be together and stuff. But anyways, yeah. But I would, she was like, she's a little Japanese girl. She had special abilities. She was beautiful. She was sexy. And everyone pretty much liked her, but that wasn't always like that at first. She had to have some sort of trauma first, and that's like that with any sort of thing, like we know that with our altars and stuff that we create, a lot of it would be like we create these people, and a lot of it is what we would actually like to be. And my point is that what I'm trying to come across is that you can actually be these things. You understand? Like, you can actually, if you want to be a director, if you want to be a writer, if you want to be a singer, an actress, a model, or whatever it is, you have the ability. And I know we're not talking about my story or whatever, because I kind of cut it off, but you have the ability to actually go out and be these things and achieve these things. I kind of sound like a motivational speaker too, but I'm just really trying to let people know and make people more aware of that. Even though us as a community, we have this condition, and it may seem like, oh, we're never going to get out of it, we're never going to actually go out in life, especially for people who are really, really young and they have this. I want to let you know that you can actually go out and be these things and actually achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve in this life, and that you do not have to let this thing weigh you down. If you want to be a singer, be a singer. If you want to be an actress, a model, or whatever, your dreams or whatever, actually go out and do these things. That's another thing with this thing that we have. Sorry, ignore the background noise. This thing that we have. It's amazing because it's like you're literally you're making your own world, because this world, let's just all be honest, this world can be full of shit. Let's just be honest. But it has beauty in it too, This world, it has beauty in it too. Everything is not always what it seems sometimes. But anyways, yeah, so I just wanted to just point that out. Don't let this condition overweigh you or feel like, because it is sad, you do it so much and you feel like, you feel like you're just stuck, and that's all, this is all you really pretty much want to do. This thing is your passion. But I'm just trying to say, go out and do your passion, whatever it is that you're passionate about. For me now, I'm just I'm coming to finding myself. I mean, I'm still struggling with this, trust me. I still have the episodes, I still have the parts where I get triggered by going on car rides, by listening to music while going on car rides, or riding in the car, or just, all of that. I don't want to make people feel like they can't do what they want because of this condition that we have. You can only let a thing have power over you if you let it have power over you. If you don't find the self-control over it, But anyways, back to my story. So yeah, depending on how long this video is, I don't know when the camera's gonna cut off, but I'll probably make a part 2 depending on how long this video lasts. But anyways, what's it getting on? My bad. Yeah, so a lot of my peers and stuff would be surrounded by that world, and I would even create, it would just be but she's my main altar though. She's she is everything that I would like to be personally, but she is my altar. She's my main altar, and I would create other altars within that universe, within that world, that would be, but it's I couldn't necessarily, and then it's sometimes I would get frustrated, you get frustrated when you get interrupted, or somebody comes and barges in your room, or your mom calls you or whatever because she needs something. And but I would get frustrated sometimes when and I know you guys can resonate as far as with the music. You're in a car ride. Let's say we're going off somewhere. Let's say we're driving to the store. or we're going to the mall or something. And sometimes this, and I know you guys can relate, not resonate, but relate to this, because you know, we're all pretty much the same. We all do this. So yeah, it would be a time where I would want to daydream, because I'll be in the car and stuff and driving and stuff, right? And I'll get frustrated when I'll have music and stuff on my phone and I can't find a specific song that I would like to play, and by the time the car ride stops, it'll be like I haven't played that song, and it'll frustrate me because I will be wanting to daydream my plots and stuff, right? Or my storylines and where I left off. And sometimes I'll even I'll be in class in school and I'll just be like, it'll be, we all can relate. We don't, in school, we don't, teachers, they'll be boring, be talking in class, so you have no choice, especially if it's an hour-long lecture and they're talking about shit that's not even going to be on the test, let's say for when you graduate, right? That's what I don't get about it, but my opinion doesn't matter right now. That's another video. But when you it'll be like a long lecture, they'll be teaching, talking, and it's like, but you have, and then it's like you have no choice but to daydream. So I would just do it, and then when they call my name, I'll just be like, they'll be like, Imani, and I'll just be like, huh? And because I'll be like, be in class daydreaming, and I'll just be like creating a storyline, and from where I left off, and I'll just be like, and all of that. But yeah, I will be doing it a couple of times, and one of the teachers noticed that I was doing it, and I didn't really get yelled at. She just asked me if I was okay, and I said, yeah, no, I'm good. We all did it. We all did it. We all do it. But yeah, it would just be like, I would just come home from school and do that. And around high school, it was the same thing. I had friends. I would go out and socialize and go out and play. And back when I did have a life, now it's just like I don't really know what to do with my life. And that's the sad part, because we know that all we really want to do is daydream. We know that. But yeah, so I think this is an hour-long video, so I think I'm gonna cut it off here, and I'll come back with the part 2 of this and stuff. So yeah, because I have to go handle some stuff. So yes, I'm gonna come back with the part 2. And with that being said, thanks for your time, for your energy to come watch this. And I hope that by me saying whatever I said, by me saying what I said in this video has helped you in some sort of way. But yes, we're gonna end it here, and I hope you guys have a good day, a good night, and I will see you guys in the next video.